What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Words with Wade podcast, episode 101. I feel like I haven't,
101 for the 2019.
I haven't said that in a long time. I, of course, am your host, Wade Blogs, aka Mr. Quid Pro Quo, aka The
Wait for it. Motherfuckers, y'all know y'all got to wait for it.
Wade Blogs. Joining me from parts unknown again. Well, first, before we get to you, Ari is not here. She wasn't feeling well. If y'all listen to the show long enough, y'all know Ari has her situation. So we'll see her again soon, hopefully. But from parts unknown, Zamunda, Wakanda, all that good shit. G is here. What up, G?
Shit! Y'all know I'm getting stamps in my passport right now.
Crazy stamps.
I'm trying to get crazy stamps. I ain't gonna miss a Sunday though.
Please don't. So
I ain't gonna miss a Sunday though.
So I know a lot of y'all are wondering why so long. What's with the wait?
So far done.
So far we got that too. Well, if you listen to the podcast from the beginning, we've always recorded at one studio, and it was time for a change. So we made some changes, and we're at a new location. Hopefully, our new home here, and we're gonna just make it work here. A lot of things happen in between. Not gonna badmouth anybody, not gonna burn no bridges, none of that crazy shit. It's just time for a change. Everybody leaves their mom's house at some point, right? You gotta grow up.
I'm gonna just say
shit.
shout out to Judd.
Definitely. Shout out to Just coming through in the clutch.
Yeah. I'm gonna say shout out to Judd.
Yeah,
And, we gonna leave it there.
yeah. Shout out to everybody who rocked with us at the last place. It's nothing but love. We just needed, a new situation. That's all. A new situation. So we're here, and let's do it like we always do, and get into what we like to call the rundown.
The rundown.
First thing I want to talk about, the homie 21 Savage. A lot has happened since we've been going for this last month and a half. So 21 Savage, just to give y'all a brief synopsis, a brief catch up on what happened. He was arrested on a traffic stop, and they found out he had an expired visa as it was.
Fuck that.
I know we're gonna get to that. We can get to that. So he was detained because his visa expired. I believe they said in 2004. So it came to find out that 21 was actually born in London. He moved to the States when he was like 7, I believe the story is.
Yeah, like 6 or 7.
Yeah. So that's why he always claimed Atlanta, because in his head he's from Atlanta, which I understand. Like, I grew up one place, and I've lived here longer than I lived there. So, I can claim this and still claim that. So people do it all the time. I don't see why it's a big issue.
Yeah, truthfully, I tell people you're from wherever you graduated high school from, that's where you're from. Like, when you went to high school and where you graduated high school from, that's where you're from. Fuck where you was born, that's where you're from.
I don't know about that.
My personal opinion, we can dive into that. See me offline if y'all want to talk about that.
Well, he was detained. Like I said, his visa had expired. There was a whole big issue he was unlawfully detained, where the internet was in an uproar. Everyone saw the memes, 21 being from London, all this good stuff. It was pretty hilarious. Then it wasn't so funny because he was being unlawfully detained. His offense was a bondable offense, but they weren't letting him go. A lot of conspiracy theories came out about he started making music with J. Cole and all more woke music, then all of a sudden he got clapped. So a lot of people were talking about that. Because 21's been famous for a while. Now all of a sudden he gets arrested.
Exactly. Snatch his ass up, get his ass off the street. He's speaking to conscience. His whole purpose and what he was doing prior to was a breakdown of men. I ain't even gonna say black men. It's just a breakdown of men. But when you start to empower men, it's like, oh, alright, this what you want to do? Cool. Let me get you out here quick up off the street.
Quickly try to get 21.
So, we can still roll with the conspiracy theory. So, for the fact that he's been here that long, and they knew he was here, they didn't take no action. He's even applied for permanent residency since before this situation. He applied for permanent residency before this situation. Look it up. It hasn't been granted yet. So, continuing on. Like Wade said, conspiracy theory. He talking woke. He waking people up. Now y'all just gonna jump out of a truck and just snatch the nigga up?
Exactly.
Just out of nowhere. It won't no legal documents preceding that saying, hey, we understand that you're here illegally, you need to file for this, you need to do this, none of that. Oh, we gonna pull up on you, ARs out, and just snatch you and throw you in the back of a fucking truck.
Exactly. Now, let's
go, Wade, and I know you're gonna rock with me on this conspiracy theory.
Of course.
So he just got reprogrammed? That's what happened?
They pulling the
That's
Gucci?
what happened?
They pulling the Gucci on him?
Yeah. They just pulled the Gucci. So we just gonna pull up, we gonna snatch you. It's a whole controversial thing. And we just gonna let you go with no bond, no nothing, no repercussions.
Well,
and just let you tell your story.
Well, hold on, because apparently, everyone protested. Shout out to my girl Nikki S. Dot. Everybody was in Atlanta protesting. There was a hashtag Free21. I even tweeted it. Apparently, the big homie, rap's big homie, Jay-Z, stepped in and was like, "Nah, we getting 21 up out of it." And when Hove speaks, you know what I mean? Hove came in and paid for the lawyers and got 21 out.
And I don't want to lose any of our fan base, but we gonna really take it to Hove as far as the Rockefeller brunch, fuck the Beehive and all of that, and come back around.
See, y'all not gonna get me. See, you know what's gonna happen? That's why I didn't get my invite, because of y'all. I'm waiting for my invite. Hove. Tata, Hove, holla at me.
Bruh, it's people that title, that work for title, that are not allowed in the Rockefeller brunch.
Elliot, somebody, holla at me.
No, I don't even think Elliot went to the Rockefeller brunch.
You know what? Now that I think about it, I don't even remember him posting any pictures.
Yeah, he hasn't posted anything, and he's been in title for 2 years.
Yeah, he just posted that. But hold on, we getting off the subject.
Yeah, we getting sidetracked, but yeah, there's a whole lot going on, like how people move and things that go. Yeah, all of that sidetracked.
So,
but
let's bring it back.
So I don't feel that's any different. Truthfully.
Hold on, let's bring it back. So now Jay-Z steps in and gets 21 out. Well, we're not gonna say Jay-Z got him out, but Jay-Z paid for lawyers to help expedite his release. That sounds so much better. 21 gets out, takes a jet to his mom, whatever, and he does interviews on Good Morning America. And they asked 21, like, 21, what do you think this was about? Because you've been free for a while. You know, your visa expired in 2004. It's 2019. So why do you think all of a sudden they coming for you? And here's what 21 had to say.
And then I was in the back of a car and I was gone.
They tell you you're under arrest? Or
nah, they didn't say nothing. They just said, we got Savage.
They said, we got Savage.
Yeah.
Sounds like this was potentially something they set out to do, that this would have been targeted and not just a random traffic stop.
It was definitely targeted.
What happened?
I don't know.
So that's the key thing to me. Now,
We got Savage. We got Savage.
exactly. We got Savage. We that is real name, not whatever got the offended. We got Savage. So it sounds like to me, of course, it was targeted. I think it sounds like that to everyone.
Of course. Of course.
And now they're talking about.
Like,
Go ahead.
from everything that's been discussed about it, it's like he has applied for citizenship.
Yes.
So at some point, he understood and acknowledged the fact, like, alright, this is how this country works. I'm not from here. For me to stay here, I have to go through these legal parameters. So he started to go through those parameters.
Exactly. He did.
But because the nigga says the wrong shit out of his mouth in a fucking song, snatch his ass up quick. He got to go. We got to get rid of this nigga. He's talking too much truth. He got to go.
21 did what he was supposed to do. He filed for the paperwork. The paperwork was on hold. It's not his fault. It was on hold for 15 years. My fault. And now...
Like, he said it out of his own mouth. Like, I was, I think he said I was 7 when I came over here.
Right.
I knew I was not born here, but I didn't know exactly what that meant. When he got into his 20s and he started understanding certain things, he was like, yeah, I filed. Like, I filled out paperwork to make sure that I could stay here. And they snatched it up after that. Come on.
Come on now. We're not stupid.
People.
We're not stupid, Uncut Nation. What I said?
Come on, people.
If it looks like a duck,
Come on.
and it quacks like a duck, you know what it is. Now the rumor is 21 might be deported because of his criminal background. Because apparently in 2010 or a few years ago, he caught a gun charge. So they asked 21, how does he feel about being deported? And here's what he had to say.
You know what the fucked up shit is?
What's that?
Tell me a nigga from Atlanta that ain't got a gun charge.
That's a fact.
Like straight the fuck up. Tell me a nigga who lives in Atlanta that ain't got a gun charge.
That's a fact. But here,
It's nobody in Atlanta. I'm not saying this I hope y'all don't take this the wrong way. I just know y'all get busy.
Facts. I'm gonna let 21. Hold on, I'm gonna let 21 talk about the yeah, 1 sec.
At a certain point, 2006, your visa expired.
I didn't know what a visa was. Like, I was 7 when I first came here. I knew I wasn't born here, but I didn't know, like, what that meant as far as when I transitioned into an adult, how it was going to affect my life. I wasn't hiding it, but it's like, I didn't want to get deported, so I'm not going to just come out and be like, hey, by the way, I wasn't born here, the world.
His arrest by the Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency came just days after the rapper released his music video, A Lot.
How many problems you got? A lot.
You have a line in there where you say, went through some things, but I can imagine my kid stuck at the border.
Right.
Do you feel like you were targeted as a result of that? Basically being critical of the immigration system here?
My lawyers think that.
What do you think?
I don't really know. I can't really say. I would see why people would think that, but I really can't say.
The Department of Homeland Security has been aware he's been living here on an expired visa for some time. Sold at a certain.
So they've been aware. That part right there, they know, and they don't care.
Exactly. And that's the shit that has tripped me out the whole time. Is like, this is not new to y'all. It's not new. Y'all know this nigga been here for X amount of years. Years! 365 days plus. Years. Y'all know he been here. But he ain't posed no threat.
Exactly.
That's the point. He ain't posed no threat.
Exactly. So it gives credence to the theory that, just like the reporter said, he started talking that, and I hate to say conscience rap because it's not really conscience. It's just, and I don't want to say woke rap, but he was talking less about guns and violence and more about buying shit and taking care of your family. So as soon as he changes his content, that's what we'll say. He gets pulled. It looks flaky. It's no other way to put it. It looks flaky. And conspiracy theory Wade here, you can't sugarcoat that. His lawyer said that, and I understand he don't want to say it, but it's there. It's right there. There's no way to cover that. So we'll see what happens. Of course, we want the homie to stay around. It's like he's the new generation Slick Rick. But I don't know, man. Something I learned a long time ago. When the government wants you, the government gonna get you. Excuse me. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. So let's move on. Like I said, a lot of stuff happened in the last month and a half or whatever. But I did want to talk about the Grammys because that was a big thing. Normally on this podcast, we go over who we think going to win, who we think going to lose, all that good stuff. We didn't get to that this year. But there were some surprising winners. I did want to cover that for y'all. So, check it out. I have the list right here. I'm pulling it up right now. This is normally Ari's job, right? So, for Album of the Year, there were a couple of albums nominated. Cardi, Drake, Her, Post Malone, Janelle Monáe, Kendrick for Black Panther. Casey Musgraves won for Golden Hour, an album I never heard. Childish Gambino, he won for Record of the Year with This Is America. He also won for Song of the Year, and that goes to the songwriter of the song. He wrote the song. Let's see. Best traditional pop album we don't care about. Best dance album, good. Contemporary album, yeah. Okay, best R&B album, Her won for her album, Her. Best R&B performance was Her again with Daniel Caesar for Best Part. Best R&B song was Ella Mai with Booed Up. Here's one that was, I don't think we saw this coming. Best Urban Contemporary Album was The Carters with Everything Is Love. Now, looking at the people they were against, Chloe and Haley, Michelle Neglatio, I can see how they won that, but I think we're on the same page with this, and this is no disrespect to the Carter family. I don't think that was a Grammy-winning album. It was a good album, but I don't think, when I listened to Everything Is Love, it was like a one-time listen, maybe a two-time listen. I mean, it was a great lyrical content from Hov, but that's not a big surprise. It wasn't something I'm like, oh yeah, this album will win Grammys. But we don't often say that anyway. Eh. But the big story of the night was for the winner for best rap album, and this is where all the shit started happening. The nominees were Travis Scott for Astro World, Pusha T for Daytona, Nipsey Hussle for Victory Lap, Mac Miller for Swimming, and Cardi B for Invasion of Privacy. And as I'm sure you all know by now, Cardi won the award, marking the occasion of the first female solo artist to win the award for Best Rap Album. Now, Cardi won the award. She went to the stage with her husband Offset. Looks like they're back together again. But what really threw everything off was the internet, as always. What started was B.E.T. They leaked the story, and let me just pull this up here. I think we have it in the group chat here. I want to read the headline specifically. Let's go through it. What was the headline, G? Do you have it immediately? I'm assuming not. The headline was Nicki Minaj gets dragged by her lace front. And that was from BET.com. Meanwhile, Nicki Minaj is being dragged by her lace front. Now, y'all listen to this show long enough. Y'all know we're not Team Nicki here. You know, we actually think all of us here, me, G, Ari, all of us are huge Cardi fans. I just think, at what point do we stop the comparison? At what point is it, whenever Cardi does something good, we have to shit on Nicki? Like, when does that stop? Like, I'm all for the friendly competition shit, but Nicki's minding her own business. What the fuck? Like, and BET to be a news source and to be non-partial, that headline was just, it was reckless to me. Now, I know all the Cardi fans are loving it because the so-called beef between them two, but I'm just not with the random kicking somebody when they down. It was just for no reason. It was just no reason at all. Nicki had nothing to do with the shit, and all of a sudden we gonna drag her by her lace front. It was just uncalled for. And I think if Nicki is smart enough, she'll use this as fuel. She'll use this whole thing she's tried to been doing for the last few months, few years, this whole bad guy persona. She could flip this if she's smart enough, if her team is smart enough. Because I don't think it's all Nicki. Her team has to be smart enough to see what she's doing, see what the climate is, and say, hey, look what they're doing to you. Feed that to her. Feed her to her ego. Nicki responded, however, in good fashion, with Young Money pulling out the BET experience that was coming up. And word on the net is that the writer who wrote the story was released from her services at BET. So it was an ugly situation. I once again, I always think news sources have tried to do with Uncut magazines be non-partial, not show favoritism, unless I'm specifically telling y'all. I do it on the show. I tell y'all, hey, I'm a little biased. I'll tell y'all straight up. When I'm being biased, I would tell y'all, hey, I'm being biased. But I think that was a little uncalled for, and I'm glad Nicki didn't resort to name calling. She let all her barbs do it because all the barbs started doing this shit. And then it just got ugly with Cardi coming online saying she released a video about it, and I think we still have it. She hasn't deleted it from her Instagram because everybody was saying that Cardi didn't deserve the award. She don't write her rhymes, the usual shit people say about Cardi. And I think she just got fed up with the shit. I'm not mad at her for it because I'm sick of hearing that shit too. And I'm a huge proponent of people writing their own rhymes and, rappers being rappers. But at this point, I don't think we look at Cardi like that. I don't think anybody looks at Cardi like, hey, she's the best rapper of all time. It's just Cardi. We're just happy for her to win. We just say, hey, we're happy she won. We've seen her struggle. We've seen where she came from. I'm happy she winning. That's all. I'm trying to find the article here. Yeah. I'm trying to find the post, but I can't pull it up right now. But Cardi released it. I think she deleted it from her Snap or her Instagram. And I'm not mad at that. Just get back. Because she did delete. I'm sorry, y'all right. She did delete her entire Instagram. And then she came back with some new shit. But as usual, the internet never forgets. So a quick search of Cardi's name. And here's the video.
Not my style for people to put other people down to uplift somebody else. That's not my style, and that's not what I'm with, and I don't support that. However, I've been taking a lot of shit today. I'm seeing a lot of bullshit today, and I saw a lot of shit last night, and I'm sick of this shit. I worked hard for my motherfucking album. I remember last year when I didn't want for Bodak Yellow, everybody was like, Cardi got snubbed, Cardi would've got snubbed. Now this year's a fucking problem. My album went 2-time platinum, my nigga. And every chart that there was, my album was always top 10. #1 album as well. I fucking worked my ass off, locked myself in the studio for 3 months, my nigga. Didn't want to sleep in my own bed, sometimes for 4 days straight. Pregnant. Some songs couldn't even get on the fucking album because my nose was so fucking stuffy from my pregnancy. Niggas couldn't sleep. Niggas couldn't do shit. While everybody was harassing me like, you're not gonna do it. We know you pregnant. Your career's over. That shit dwelling in my fucking mind while I'm, what? It's not my style.
So she was vexed, as you can see. And thinks she had a right to be. I think she had a right to be. But I do think, like she said in the beginning, you don't have to put somebody down and put somebody up. We all love Cardi, and we all happy for Cardi. We celebrate Cardi, and every Cardi record that drops, we all celebrate and love the shit and play it to death and all that good shit. But we don't gotta talk about Nicki every time Cardi does something good. What the fuck? Let that shit rock. I don't know. That's just me. I'm not a hater, so I don't need to do shit like that. Then let's move on. The next thing that happened on the rundown here, Usher and is it Rich the Kid? I'm trying to pull this up here while I'm talking to y'all. It was reported that Usher and Rich the Kid were in a studio session in California, and somebody broke into the studio session to get at Rich the Kid. Now, if you don't know who Rich the Kid is, he's the guy that had the song Plug Walk. I'm sure everybody knows that song. It's a big hit. So anyway, trying to get at Rich the Kid, and apparently Usher was in the studio working on the song. I'm actually reading this from uncutmagazine.net. Shameless plug. Rich the Kid and his entourage were attacked outside the studio. They targeted Rich the Kid the entire time. Somebody says, witnesses says there were as many as 10 shots fired in Westlake recording studio. Money and jewelry was allegedly stolen, but apparently Usher was actually inside the studio. So this happened outside the studio. Usher was inside the studio. See how the clickbait gets you? But nobody can confirm or deny if Usher was involved at all. But he was on the scene. Isn't this like the second time something happened with Rich the Kid? Like, he living real dangerous out here in these streets. I'm concerned for his wealth, his health and well-being. But I don't know a lot about Rich the Kid. Like, I couldn't point him out if you put him in the lineup. But for that to happen, and like I said, I've heard his name before, and not for musically, for shit like this. So I hope he's living right out here in these streets, because they will get you. And I hate to hear he's the next one. You know what I mean? I hate to hear some rest in peace, Rich the Kid. I hate for that to happen. And I'm not speaking ill of the man. Just want better for us. But then, let's continue on with the rundown here. This week, I love this week. T.I., my guy, Tip, T.I. Harris, whatever, released a song. Well, no, let's backtrack that a little bit. On the internet, there was Gucci. Everybody knows Gucci. And not Gucci Man, the rapper. Gucci, the clothing line. Gucci, clothing line designer, all the good stuff. They released a turtleneck, a black turtleneck with lips on it that you covered up. They called it a baklava. I think that's the terminology they use for it. But it looked a bit blackfacious. Is that the word we're gonna use? So, because of this baklava or whatever they tried to put on, it was a boycott instituted against Gucci, where a lot of people got online, a lot of famous brothers and sisters, black people, said we're not going to wear Gucci anymore. Gucci doesn't respect us. They doesn't respect our dollars, so we're not going to wear Gucci anymore. People like Tip, people like 50 Cent, people like just a lot of people, a lot of prominent people in our community, if that's the word I can use, decided we're going to boycott Gucci. We're not going to wear Gucci anymore. They on their bullshit. And I'm perfectly fine with that. I don't wear a bunch of Gucci. I do have Gucci cologne. But, I'm not going to rock Gucci. So, TMZ, being TMZ, was out and about in L.A. and ran into Floyd Mayweather, the champ, Money Mayweather. And they saw him going into the Gucci store. And actually, let me just play the clip for y'all, if I can pull it up here. A lot of these clips I have somehow get deleted, so it makes it real ugly when I want to play it for the show. I'm just pulling it up now. Bear with me here, y'all.
They have the blackface sweater, and a lot of prominent artists are dropping them.
Man, listen, I don't got nothing against nobody.
Really?
My thing is this: I support everybody. I like everybody. And my thing is this: I like to live life and do what I like to do. I'm not no follower. I do what the fuck I want to do.
Right.
Because everybody say wear this or don't wear this. I'm wearing what the fuck I want to wear. I'm about to go in the Gucci.
Were you disrespected at all by the whole blackface?
I'm about to go in the Gucci.
I saw you drop that light 40 at that tournament the other day. At that game.
Oh yeah, but you see, we've been in there shopping today.
Look at that. Oh man. Oh, yeah, you're not worried about the backlash at all. Look at all the Gucci bags.
Oh man, I'm living life, man. Right. I'm living life.
Because people like T.I., Soulja Boy, they're done with Gucci. They said
all I gotta say is this: I don't follow. Right. I do what I want to do, when I want to, and how I want to. I love it like everybody.
Right.
You said they're gonna be upset with me?
Right, they are.
Oh, I love it. Controversy.
Yeah, I'm sure you heard, black.
So, as you hear of Mayweather, he doesn't care about a controversy, doesn't care about people not liking it, doesn't care. Just doesn't care. So, Tip, T.I., Clifford, if I can call him Clifford, shout out the King, decided to respond to that and release and I don't want to call it diss song because Floyd can't rap, you know what I'm saying? So it's not really a diss song, but he did respond. And let me see if I get a clip for y'all of this here. The song is called "Fuck Nigga," with a picture of Floyd on the cover, wearing one of those baklavas.
Only thinking about itself. They get the fame, they get the wealth, but people are struggling. Who did you help? People are struggling. Who did you help? Who did you help? I ain't made it much as you have. Purses you grab could be some countries out in Africa. You just go buy a lamb, a Bugatti, or something else that depreciate when you drive it off the lot and holler, fuck it, but fuck it. I change the system. The greatest reward comes with obligation. You owe the generation after you, since they gon' live in the world that you made. Now where your gratitude? You act like one no more poor people struggling after you. Yeah, you were the land, nigga, you trash. You would never got big as you is if the folk in the hood was supporting your ass. See them same people that taking the stand. Give you the chance, you showing your ass. I don't give a fuck how much money you have. What did you do with it? How did you use it to make an impact and influence the world for the better? You rather go buy some jewelry, whatever, but never should you ever think that it's gonna last forever.
So the song is basically Tip reading, if that's we can still say that. Reading Floyd, just basically call him a fuck nigga. You know, he wouldn't have got where he got if it wasn't for the hood, essentially, and that's 1,000% true. 1,000%. But this is. I hate to say this, but this is why we as a people can't get nowhere. We can't stick together with nothing. The simplest shit that's so obviously wrong, people just are contrarians just to be contrarians. I'm not a follower, I'm a leader, so I'm not going to do what y'all doing. I don't care if they're wrong or not. I'm just not going to do it because I'm not a follower. Fuck all that. Wrong is wrong is wrong is wrong. Yeah, so all that shit we do, all that contrarian shit y'all do, that y'all just want to be followers, like y'all just want to be leaders, like y'all say y'all are. Lead the right way. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, and Floyd Mayweather does a lot of fuck shit. I'll be real honest with y'all. But I never took, you know what I'm saying, too seriously. Because you can see a lot of shit he does for show. I'm just sick of this shit. Just this whole Mayweather shit. Like, the T.I. track is alright. It's a cool track. He read, you know what I'm saying? He went through or whatever. I'm just sick of the whole Mayweather shit. I mean, he can't really diss him, you know what I mean? Because he doesn't rap. I don't expect Mayweather to come back with a track, you know what I'm saying? But it was kind of like, you remember when Joe Budden dissed Drake? It was kind of like that. It's kind of like, yo, sit down, let me tell you something. That's kind of how I took it. It wasn't like, yo, fuck your bitch, you fat motherfucker. It was kind of like, let me learn you something, little nigga. And Mayweather responded, of course, but we don't give a fuck. So it just we gotta do better, y'all. We just gotta do better. And I'm sick of saying we gotta do better because I've been saying it a lot. Let's continue on with the rundown here. This week marked the 10th anniversary of Drake's, I don't want to say his first release because it wasn't his first release. He had two products before that. But I guess the release that put him in the limelight, the release that got everyone's attention, I guess, So Far Gone.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
I think, you know what's crazy about it, G? I was thinking about this the other day. I think when So Far Gone came out, we was at the other joint, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Because I remember, I think I had the expedition with the TVs and all that. But yeah, that's
Very true.
I can't think of, like, you know how sometimes in life when music happens, there's a memory attached to it. Like you listen to this song and you're like, oh, I remember this, and it takes you back to that place.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of social media this week did the same thing. They were like, yeah, when So Far Gone came out, I was here and here and here and here and here and here. And I don't really have that attachment to that.
I do.
What's your memory of So Far Gone when it came out?
At the time, I was at my first call center and I was dealing with a chick. And it was one of those situations like on some lunch shit. We figuring out what we gonna do and how we gonna approach the situation as far as like me and her dealing. And there was a couple of joints that ended up playing because that ended up being the soundtrack of the conversation. So therefore, okay, but ultimately that ended up being like the soundtrack of the whole conversation. And she's listening to it like everything that I was saying at that point became oblivious to a certain point. She's like, oh, this is dope. I gotta, oh shit, that's great. Like, and it was like different songs that were playing. And she was just, going in as far as how she felt about him. And it was like, oh yeah, I like this, I like this. I was like, oh. Here's the name of the project, one of the cats, the name of the song, so on and so forth. What's really tripped me out is because I was fucking with Drake on Replacement Girl.
Right.
Like the him and Trey Songz joint. Which, once I paid attention to the timeline, was before the So Far Gone joint. But like when So Far Gone hit, it was just like, yeah, he knocked that one out of the ballpark.
I think for a lot of people, So Far Gone is the mark where hip hop changed. You know what I mean? Like that era is kind of the era we're living in now. Because a lot of people that make music now, for lack of a better term, came up on So Far Gone. Like,
I would agree that, So Far Gone made things go a different route. I'm not going to agree with that changed the era. It was a few things leading up to, and quite a few things that happened prior to that I feel like curved it to change the era. And even after the fact of So Far Gone coming out, I feel like it was a couple of things that played a part with taking the culture and things into a different aspect. I'm not gonna I can't put that all on the So Far Gone project. Not at all. That did not change the whole culture.
I think it started.
In my head.
I feel what you're saying. I think it started the change. And just not. I mean, not for like me and you.
So what changed? What change did you feel that it started?
I think for lack of a better term, that emo rap that Drake is famous for now, because there was people doing it before, but not like for a whole project.
I'm about to say I disagree with that. If that's the standing still moment, we quote unquote, if that's what we gonna call it, emo rap. Joe Budden did that early.
Right.
Joe Budden did that on his first project.
Right.
And that's what really trips me out when people be like, they reference him for the Pump It Up track. Nah. Joe did what got asked of me to do and asked of any actual MC in that era. It was like, yo, just put out a commercial track once they buy the single, like literally, this is what I was told, and I know other people were told this. Put out a commercial song. Once they buy the CD, they bought you. So whatever you say on the CD, you know, they at that point they can make up their mind about you and how they feel about your music. But just make a commercial song to put out that we can market. So ultimately, I feel like that's kind of what he did, but to go back to what he's talking about.
I don't know if you think about music back then, like before, besides So Far Gone, what else was popping then?
T-Pain popped off before then.
Who?
T-Pain.
Yeah, okay.
T-Pain, everybody always looks at T-Pain as he introduced auto-tune. Well, if you actually listen to T-Pain outside of him being in the strip club and throwing money at bitches, he had a little pain in his music too.
Now I'm actually Googling the charts back then, and just looking at some of the songs. I mean, Blueprint 3 had came out.
It was like Wayne was still popping at the time, and I think that's something that a lot of people forget. It was the end of the boy band era. Like Omarion was stepping away from B2K and all of that. Like it was like a lot of things were dissolving at that particular time that we had become accustomed to. And it was a small window of we need something that's going to incorporate a lot of things at the same time. Because nobody, like, it was like the end of the ringtone era. There was a lot of things ending and a lot of things starting that people didn't even know, like, whether I'm really going to deal with this and that. So, when Drake dropped that project, it was a combination of everything that was being lost and gained at the same time. Is the best way I can put it.
As I look at the charts, the thing that jumps out to me is I forgot how crazy Trey was back then. Because Trey, back in 2009, he had, like, he had I Invented Sex.
But Trey gave him the cosign.
And that's what I was going to say.
I'm about to say, I think that's crazy that, like, a lot of people still don't acknowledge that Drake does. But a lot of people do not acknowledge that Trey gave him the cosign. Trey walked him into a lot of different offices to try to get Drake put on.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If you look at the charts, like I said, Trey had I Invented Sex. He had Say Ah. He had. I'm just looking at this shit now. And for him to go with somebody that, I'm not going to say a virtual unknown because he did have a joints before that, but he did what Successful for Drake and Replacement Girl. That was a big deal. That was a good look for Drake. That was a huge look for Drake.
Yeah, exactly. And imagine at this point, I have read articles about Trey and them saying that he's the biggest artist that they had ever signed since Ray Charles. Drake, they they didn't want to let Trey rhyme on his any of his songs. It's like, look, we signed you to be an R&B artist, which is why he broke off and did the whole 804 Boys and him rapping, all of that on the side. I feel like during that time frame, this is just my personal timeline, how I match things up. During that time is of him, of Trey rebelling against his label for lack of a better phrase, was when him and Drake really crossed paths. And it's just like, yo, you dope. I feel you dope. I'm going to do some shit with you. We gonna work it out on the side, and I'm on records with you.
I think I heard the rumor.
Yeah, I'm about to say Drake has said it, Trey has said it. Like, ultimately, Trey was not in a position to sign Drake, really, because he was still trying to get his shit straight. But he saw something in Drake to the point that, like, yo, I'm gonna walk you in these offices. I'm gonna introduce you to people because you're talented. You're like, you need to be on.
And I think for me, that was my first introduction to Drake. Was Successful, and then I went backwards, like. Because I tell everybody I'm slow with getting music. Like I'll hear an artist come out and I'm like, all right, whatever, let's see what he do. And then later on I'm like, okay, let me go back. So I think Successful hit, and I was like, okay, let me go back and get Comeback Season and all that other shit. But Successful to me was my first real chance of like hearing him, like, oh yeah, this kid is nice.
Yeah, first time I heard Drake was Replacement Girl. That was the first song I ever heard Drake on. Comeback Season and all of that, I'm the same as you. Like, I had to dive back and find that. But first time I ever heard Drake was a Replacement Girl.
I remember seeing the ads for Comeback Season. I was like, who is this nigga in the coat? Like, because the cover looked so different than what we were used to. So I was like, who is this nigga in the coat? So I paid this shit like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? This nigga think he Nas. So I paid this shit literally.
Oh, we just gonna get the light skin here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? Nah, who is this nigga? The half fool? He got the Nas cut? Nah.
Yeah, that shit was crazy, but like, but when that shit dropped, and the line, it's so funny. It's so funny. The line out of that whole project that blew him up. Not even just that song. It was the line in that particular song. It was like sweatpants, hair tied, chilling with no makeup on.
Yeah, you know Drake.
That's when you're the prettiest. I hope that you don't take it wrong. That was the line. That was the sequence that every female gravitated to. And it blew they fucking mad. And it was just like, niggas be hollering at you at Walmart and grocery stores all the fucking time. Like, how do you not know this? They never understood until he put it that way. Why niggas be so focused on them. That was the line that really, everything, I'm going to speak just for me. That particular line, I heard females gravitating to and being so astonished by that a guy could put it a certain way as to why he's attracted to them, but at the same token, women feeling empowered to the point that, like, oh, my face ain't gotta be beat, like, I ain't gotta have this particular outfit. Like, niggas pay attention to me being in sweatpants and shit. And I was so astonished. It was like, no, niggas been trying to holler at you at Walmart for years, and you just on the phone with your bestie talking about, I don't know why this nigga trying to holler at me. I ain't getting no makeup. I ain't get my hair done, and none of that. But that's when niggas like go at females. Like, yo, when you're ladies, excuse my voice. Okay, nation, ladies, when your rise and shine game is strong, I don't need to see nothing else. Niggas don't need to see nothing else. None of us need to see nothing else. If your rise and shine game strong, shout out to Tasha.
Yeah.
Anybody listening? But like, when your rise and shine game strong, like when you get up and you still cute as fuck, you still fine as fuck, like regardless of how much makeup you had to wipe off your face or anything like that. But when you just like naturally, man, like you beautiful as fuck, that's rare. I don't give a fuck about how beat your face is when we go out. I want to know what you look like in the morning after the fact.
Major key.
Like your rise and shine? Yeah. I don't care about your labeling. I don't focus on your rise and shine. When your rise and shine is at, man,
Major key,
I'll
right?
make you breakfast in bed and then make you breakfast in bed.
Use a clown. That's a bar. That's a bar.
Yeah, exactly. That's some fabulous shit. The double entendre. Like, I'm gonna cook you breakfast in bed, but then you gonna be breakfast in bed.
In bed.
If y'all not catching what I'm putting down, ladies, don't talk to me. Don't say nothing to me. Don't jump in my DM. Don't call. Y'all don't do that anyway, y'all. Breakfast in bed versus breakfast in bed.
I'm trying to think, like, with so far, I'm trying to think what else was I, like, I don't have a distinctive memory. Like, I remember that time period because I was doing a lot of
It was really nothing that was going on at that time. Like I said, it was a lot of things dissolving and a lot of things starting. I remember the car ride with a female, and yes, I know the female's name.
Yeah, I have some female memories, so I'm not going to... Yeah.
Yeah, like, I know the female's name. I'm just saying the female because I don't want to put her name out. But it was a distinctive car ride, and I put that project on when we were leaving work. And out of her own mouth, she was like, oh, I can fuck with this. She was like, oh, this is nice. I like this. And she wasn't in the streets female. And she wasn't like an overachiever. She was like on the fence. She was like in the middle. Like, if a female said something to her out the way, she's going to address it. But she would, still address it in a professional way. Like, she was on the fence about it. Like, that happy median. But, again, I say, it was a moment in time where a lot of music was dissolving and a lot of artists that were doing certain things were breaking up or not making music to a certain level.
I think...
And it was an open door. Open window, however you want to slice it. It was an open opportunity. And Drake stepped clean in that motherfucker.
I think I have a memory with I think my joint off that project was Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. I do have some memories of that song. I
I
definitely.
love that whole album. The thing that's crazy to me, and everybody will probably crucify me in the comments for this, everybody always gives Drake Thank Me Later as his best project. Nah. Fuck that. So Far Gone, to me, is Drake's best project. Has been, always will be.
I think
he has not made one better.
That's a good conversation.
Thank Me Later was the best project to argue against So Far Gone. And I really think that I feel that way because of how that project was executed. It's technically supposed to be a mixtape. It's technically supposed to be a mixtape from Drake. It was an unsigned artist that was technically signed, putting out his first offering without the label backing him. Like, that's the only thing that comes close to that. Well, it's two projects that come close to that. Hence why I feel they're all in the same arena and they can sit in the boxing. Sit in the ring as far. Kendrick and J. Cole. Everybody thinks Kendrick's first album was Good Kid, Mad City.
Right.
It was not.
Right, you're right about that.
Yeah, Section 80 is Kendrick's first album. His first signed studio album is Good Kid, Mad City. Kendrick's first album is Section 80.
Yo, that's a great parallel because just like Kendrick, Drake had two projects before we really took notice of him. Kendrick had Section 80 and Overly Dedicated.
Right.
So that's a great. That's very similar because.
Let's take it further. When J. Cole was signed, everybody thinks Cole's first project, but that came out on Rock. That was not his first project. Friday Night Lights is technically J. Cole's first album. The label did not want to put it out because he didn't have a single. They wanted to market him a certain way. He knew he had fire. He dropped it. He had Friday Night Lights ready to go. They didn't want to give it the green light. He put it fucking out anyway.
As he should.
Because of the response of Friday Night Lights. That green lighted his first album. That's why his first album has a lot of songs from Friday Night Lights on it. That's what people don't pay attention to. Like, if you listen to Cole's first album, Sideline Story. I'm sorry I didn't mention it earlier. It kept fucking listening. But Sideline Story was J. Cole's debut studio album. If you listen to Sideline Story, there's quite a few songs that are on Friday Night Lights. And you can hear the sound quality as far as the difference. Because some of them got remastered, some of them got re-recorded. But that project was already done. So when the conversations pop up about conversations pop up about both of them. Well, excuse me, all three of them. About Cole, Drake, and Kendrick. All of these start was similar.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, well, we fuck with y'all, but off of the music that y'all already made, now we gonna get in the studio and we gonna put together some shit.
Right.
And all of them already had projects ready to go.
Right. So.
Oh, so you don't want to drop what I got? Man, I'm gonna drop it. All of them had a independent album. I'm gonna say it that way. All of them had an independent album that they put together themselves prior to any labels getting involved. From my understanding.
Right, you're right. So,
you know, anybody, Uncut Nation, jump in the comments, check me if I'm wrong. But from my understanding, all of them had their first studio project that's critically acclaimed, ready to go, and it dropped. Some of it got dropped under another precipice. Some of it got dropped as, you know, got redone, and that's their first album.
And now, so hold on, it's so far gone.
When I tie all three of them together, that's why I tie them together, because they all manifested and took control of their own situations to a certain degree.
And now, So Far Gone is now available digitally now. You can get it on like Tidal and Spotify and iTunes and all that. I wouldn't be surprised if So Far Gone hits the charts now, because, you know, streaming and all that shit now.
Oh no, it's going to. That's the crazy thing. And to jump ahead, that's streaming this week.
Yeah, yeah.
With me. And there's 2 additional songs on the project.
Okay, we'll get to that. Let's finish with the rest of the rundown. We're running way over time here. But I wanted to talk about this because we've been quiet while this story has developed. It started around episode 100. And we've been going for a while, so we let the whole story play out. I'm kind of glad we did. And it's not over just yet, but it looks like it's over. The story I'm talking about is Jussie Smollett, yeah, him, Jamal from Empire.
Yeah, I'm about to say, pronounce his name however you want to. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah, he Jamal from Empire. So, as most of you know, Uncut Nation, the story goes that Jussie was in Chicago one night around 2 a.m, and he was attacked by some people who poured bleach on him and hung a noose on him. And the internet, of course, social media took this, and the details were revealed that they said, aren't you that faggot from Empire? Their words, not mine. And they attacked him. And everyone was sending their well wishes to Jussie, going on Instagram and social media. Oh, we pray for our brother Jussie. Hope he's okay. Talk to Jussie. Y'all, this world is full of hate. All this good stuff was going on, which was rightfully so. You know, hope everything's good with Jussie. Then things started happening. Now, I'm trying to be impartial here, so I'm just gonna tell y'all what happened. I'll let y'all form your own conclusion. The first thing was Jussie refused to cooperate with the police. The police wanted his cell phone, and he didn't want to give it to them. That's the first thing. First red flag. Then this happened at 2 a.m. On a busy street in Chicago, one of the biggest cities in the world. There was no footage. Apparently there was no footage. Apparently.
And he was supposed to be going to what? Subway, right?
Right. He was supposed to be going to Subway at 2 a.m. We're going to let that slide, but he was supposed to be going to Subway at 2 a.m. Then, what else happened? Okay. He refused to cooperate with the police at all. Like, he didn't want to turn his cell phone in because apparently he was texting someone. He didn't want to describe the people, anything like that. He just didn't want to cooperate. It's kind of like he kind of said, hey, I just want to push it under the rug and move on. Then the police, being police, started investigating things. And it came out this week. Well, one of the stories I heard, and this is a story I heard. This is a purely rumor and speculation. But this is a story that I heard. I heard that he was hooking up with someone and got caught out there. So he was ashamed to give up his phone because he had some things in there. And I was like, that makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. I know if I'm out there doing stuff, nothing like that, but stuff, you don't want to, give up that stuff to the police. I get it. It makes sense. That makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? That makes perfect sense. But it still sounds flaky. And G, you said you heard something?
Yeah, it's quite a few things that ultimately didn't add up with that whole situation. I'm not from Chicago, never been to Chicago, but people that I know that live in Chicago, have lived in Chicago, been to Chicago, a lot of things just didn't add up about that particular situation as far as how the picture got painted, but a lot of things just seem sketchy about it from the get-go.
Right.
And I didn't say anything, me personally, because there's real hate crimes that happen. Exactly. There's real situations that unfortunately have been coming to fruition, that's been showing themselves like people have genuinely been showing who they are. So it was a situation where it's like, I don't want to dismiss something that could have possibly happened, but at the same token, shit just didn't make sense.
Exactly. Like, from just the outside looking in, and we're all on the outside here, when you hear the facts or when you hear what was given to us about the story, it didn't add up. And like G said, hate crimes happen every day, and we all live in America, and we all know shit happens. It was a very believable situation. But there were too many holes, and when you asked one question, it spawned another question. So it was recently released, and I'm sure y'all know what I'm about to get to here. It was released that the Chicago Police Department has come to determine, in their opinion here, that first it was two brothers, and when I say brothers, I mean brothers in both sense of the word. They were related and they were black, that attacked Jussie. When Jussie had originally said it was two white people, and they were screaming, this is MAGA country, make America great, the whole Trump shit. That's what made it a race crime, a whole hate crime. But apparently the police found two Nigerian brothers, who say that Jussie paid them to do that. Let me say that again, because maybe y'all not understanding me. Apparently Jussie paid these two brothers, Jamal, I'm going to call him Jamal from here on out. Jamal, because...
just so everybody know who the fuck we talking about.
Exactly. So apparently Jamal paid these two Nigerian brothers to attack him and pour bleach on him and hang a noose on his neck so he can then gain sympathy, because the rumor is he was about to be kicked off the show. So now you can't kick him off the show because he's a sympathetic figure. He appeals to two demographics. He appeals to the black demographic by hanging a noose on his neck. That's racist against black people, right? Then he appeals to the homosexual demographic by them calling him a faggot, right? I'm not saying it. That's what they're saying. So you can't get rid of Jamal now.
Nope.
But the Nigerian brothers are saying that, hey, Jamal paid us to do this. We had nothing to do with it. Jamal paid us. So now the internet is looking retarded. Because the internet was on his side and screaming all this, we love Jussie, we love all this good stuff, and now it's like, you played us. You played us. Now, some people are still saying that, hey, just because the Chicago police say it, don't mean it's true. This is the same Chicago Police Department that's known for being crooked. Matter of fact, I'm pulling the tweet up now on Ava DuVernay, if I'm saying that right. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing her name. She was the director in a bunch of great black films. Not just black films. Let me stop that. Great films. But apparently Ava, I'm pulling up here, had made a long statement about it. Let's see. She says, and I quote, "Despite the inconsistencies, I can't blindly believe Chicago PD. The department that covered up shooting for Laquan McDonald over a dozen times, that operated an off-site torture facility, that one, I'll wait. Whatever the outcome, this won't stop me from believing others. It can't." So that brings up a question. And G, I pose this to you. With what we know now, with the police department saying that, hey, Jamal paid these people to do this, do we believe them?
I feel like we're still at the same point that we've been in certain aspects with law enforcement. By that I mean we cry for help or we seek help and no help comes. However, we can cry wolf and it's a whole response. But because of crying wolf, when something genuine happens, we don't get that response anymore when it's detrimentally needed. So it's like, okay, the little boy who cried wolf or Chicken Little, whichever story you want to pick.
Both same shit.
Yeah, it's the same shit. So ultimately, when we take a moment out of everything that we're faced with, to actually trust and give an opportunity for help to come. Because of situations like this, everybody's skeptical.
Right.
You don't want to be insensitive to the situation because of what's been going on. But you can't immediately react because it might be a ploy.
It does.
It kind of causes everybody to stand still.
Right.
Until, everything unfolds.
It puts
of course,
us...
by the time, if it's a true situation, by the time everything unfolds, somebody probably dead.
Yeah, that's true too.
But nobody, it's gotten to a point that people don't want to put themselves out there because of the repercussions of how it might be perceived on social media, or how it's going to be painted in the public's eye. that, oh, how could you allow yourself to be fooled that way, or how could somebody go to these extremes to paint this narrative that's not true because they want sympathy from, you know, people who have bleeding hearts to a certain degree.
It's a
That
precarious.
makes people don't want to care.
It's a precarious situation because, as you said, people are really going through this shit. So now, every time it happens, we all sad-eyed now, and we're scared to
Yeah,
give an
exactly.
opinion. Yeah, we're scared to give an opinion because you don't. If you say something about, because like I said, it's a double-edged sword. If you say something about it, you're like, oh, you homophobic, or you racist, or you know what I mean. It's like you kind of gotta wait till it all folds out, and by then, it could be too late.
Exactly, and I get that everybody has their narrative, their freedom of speech, so on and so forth. And let me just clear this up. Everything that I'm about to say has nothing to do with anything Words with Wade, you know, any subject that we've talked about. This is just my personal opinion. Wade has no idea where I'm about to go with this.
I never do.
As a society, we've gotten to a point that everybody's so afraid to say what they feel is their truth. I'm going to say that again. What they feel as their truth. Because it's going to offend somebody. And whatever legal ramifications, because legal shit has stepped into play, nobody wants to speak anymore. The fucked up part is, if I don't like you, I'm going to tell you I don't like you. The thing that has now happened, if I now say I don't like you, there is a way for you to sue me about that.
Mm-hmm.
For defamation of character. So I no longer have the right to say, I don't like you. Because they're, depending on how you spin it, you can now sue me and say, or we can go to court, whether you win or whether you lose. But you can now say, oh, you're defaming my character. No, I'm not defaming your character. I just know that I don't fucking like you.
I don't fuck with you.
Like I don't like everybody. I don't. But now in this sensitive fucking society that we live in, whether I like you or not, I'm forced to not say. I'm forced to a point where if I don't like you, I can't not like you.
You can't say it no more.
It's not even so much that I can't say it. I can't give any inkling. I can't treat you in a certain way that I don't like you. I can't, you know, I can't be standoffish. I can't not acknowledge you. I can't ignore you. If you say something to me and I don't say something back, oh, now you feel uncomfortable. So now we in HR. Like, get the fuck out of here. Because you're uncomfortable, I have to be uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be uncomfortable every single day of my life to make you comfortable. And again, like, I know y'all gonna crucify me in the comments for that, and I know that's way left field off on the tangent from what we were just talking about, but to tie it back into what we were talking about, that makes it harder to believe people when something genuine occurs as far as a hate crime. That makes it that much more difficult to acknowledge, much more difficult to believe, much more for everybody to have to take a moment to be like, I need to see all the facts. Exactly. And as me and Wade already said, at that point somebody probably dead.
So we will watch this story. I just got an update saying Jamal has left Chicago to avoid arrest. So I'm sure we're gonna talk more about it. Jamal's on the run eating. I'm sure we're gonna talk more about this.
How you gonna ignore me this? You can't ignore me this situation.
I'm sure we're gonna talk more.
And Uncut Nation for the young people who don't know what the fuck we talking about. You gotta go back to when Capone got locked up and hip hop was actually hip hop. You gotta go back to the 90s to understand that.
Here's what I don't understand. How you gonna go on a run from Chicago? It's not like you going to another country. It's Chicago.
Yeah, like where you going?
All right.
Like, where you going? So, I'm sorry, I haven't seen Empire for a while. So is Empire canceled? There's no other thing that Empire ever getting shot that adds a minute.
They're gonna show up to the show.
It's gotta be present somewhere.
He's gonna pop up. They're gonna show up at the show. Okay. So let's get ready to wrap this up because we've gone on forever. G, you want to go what's streaming this week? We'll cover everything next week.
Shit, we got a lot. Just to keep it current. Drake's So Far Gone remastered joint with the 2 new songs. ADE, Always Something. Papoose, Underrated. Casanova and 30 Rock. Free at Last. Slim Thug, Sugar Daddy Slim. ASAP Ant. Adi Patinto. August Alsina, Forever and a Day. Audio Push. And my guy Mars. Audio Mars. Alicia Keys dropped something. If I Ain't Got You, EP. Julian Marley, As I Am. Dax dropped his project. It's Different Now. And I guess I have to touch on that at a different opportunity, but I ain't gonna say fuck Tory Lanez, but the shit that he did was some real sucker shit. Wiz Khalifa and Currency, 2009. De Niro Farah, Rhea, Young Baby Tate, Girls. Like, the list goes on and on. But it's a good amount of things streaming. Of course, I gotta mention my nigga Boogie, and I'm not talking about A Boogie with the hoodie. I'm talking about the nigga from the West Coast. Everything's for sale. His project. I've been streaming that for probably about 2 weeks. So anytime I refer to him, I'm gonna just start calling him West Side Boogie.
There you go.
I'm gonna just start calling him West Side Boogie. But I've been waiting for that nigga to goddamn get to a position where he get mentioned with a lot of shit. Like, that's my nigga. Like, he gets busy with the mic, with the writing, with the singing, with the concepts as far as music. That nigga musically, yeah, I'm mark my words on the Words with Wade podcast, February 17, 2009. 2019 at 6:03 p.m.
Okay.
Boogie from the West Side. If y'all don't start mentioning him with J. Cole, with Kendrick, with Drake, with that generation of the heavy hitters, the people who most inspire, if y'all don't put him in that cat, do not put him in the category of the mumble rappers and the niggas falling off and the niggas trying to hang on. Do not put him in that category. Y'all are going to be wrong. It's going to be remiss. Put him in the Cole category, the Drake category, the Kendrick category. Please. That nigga gets busy and has been getting busy since that time.
Alright, so normally this is where we kick it to Ari for her song of the week, but she didn't send it to me. So that's it. That's episode 101. Shout out to everybody shouting us out. Follow us on the gram, on Snapchat, on every fucking thing. And we'll try to do this again next week, man. We're back in full effect. I don't see any other fall offs, any other reasons why we won't give you all this content y'all been inboxing me and DMing me and texting me for. We're back. So stop acting funny. Anything you want to say before we get out of here, G?
I feel like at this particular song, at this particular moment is when you gotta cue the AZ sample / Mace joint. Welcome back.
I know,
you gotta
right?
cue that joint right after this.
I might have to edit that in. But
Yes. I wanted to be able to say that for a long time. Jay-Z made that shit sound cool as fuck when he always talked to Just Blade.
Well, that's what's up, y'all. Make sure you check this out. Stream it, share it, tag everybody, follow us on the gram, leave your comments on the gram or on the page. Don't text me, damn it. Because they straight text me and inbox me and tell me shit. I'm like, yo, just put that comment on there, B. It makes us look better.
Yeah, it's about to be uncut. This coming from me. This ain't even coming from Wade. I want y'all to understand. Wade puts blood, sweat, and tears into this shit. Like, truly, he does. So when it's a break, like an extended break like what just happened, it'd be a lot of things moving behind the scenes. And, we're never going to give y'all the 100% of why things happen the way that they happen. Well, at least he's not.
Yeah, I'm not.
At some point, fuck it, I don't care. I'm like, those niggas under those buttons.
Man, let's get out of here.
Wait, I'm telling you this on air. So we can document it. But it'd be so much going on and y'all have no idea. So when it's an extreme break like what just happened, it'd be so many moving pieces. So many moving pieces. And to land where we landed, it's gonna get better from here.
It's definitely gonna get better.
That's the best way that I can tell y'all, Uncut Nation, without throwing people under the bus or putting it a certain way. It's gonna get better from here. I know it is.
It's definitely gonna get better. We got things coming up. It's gonna look good. It's gonna be what it's supposed to be. But for G, for Ari, for our new home, as we always say, as always.
As always.
You may agree with what we say.
Uh-huh.
You may not agree with what we say.
Okay.
But one thing you can agree with,
What's that?
we keep it uncut.
Uncut.
Until next time,